Okay, so I'm now recording. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Meditations with Muriel, aka I'm glad you all are showing up for yourself and starting your day with intention. So go ahead and get into a comfortable position. I like to get in what's often known as half lotus. People may be familiar with full lotus, where you have both feet up on your thighs. This to me is just more accessible for longer periods of time. However, depending on your body, you might need to sit in a chair. You might need to lay down. You might be, if you're a mommy on the call, you might be changing a diaper. All of that is welcome, okay? If you are moving around because you're handling business in the home, I do invite you to at least spend a few minutes in stillness and presence. Okay, so I will do, since this is beginning meditation, I will go over an intro of what meditation is and the intention of meditation. So meditation, a lot of people think of meditation as something to clear your mind, to clear your thoughts to where you're not thinking anymore. And I wanna dispel that and say that, you know, we have a lot going on. Our minds are working constantly to keep up with all the things that we're doing. So as a beginning meditator, it can feel overwhelming to think, well, I'm just supposed to sit here and clear my mind. Especially for people who are not used to sitting still and sitting in silence. And for some folks, that can be uncomfortable. So I honor that if that is the case for you. But the way that I like to think of meditation is the intention is to stay in the present moment, the here and now. Our mind can take us to the future. We can time travel in our mind. Our mind can take us in the past, right? We can start to have memories and narratives from the past come up, right? And we can be in the past, present, and future at the same time consciously. However, meditation is the conscious intention to stay in the present moment for that time, okay? So how do you do that? Well, the way that I like to teach people to do it is imagine your thoughts just whizzing by you as if you were in the passenger seat of a car, looking out the window and you see the scene just whizzing by. As the driver is driving, you just see the scene whizzing by. That's how you're going to see your thoughts just whizzing by. You'll notice what's in your mind, but you're not going to attach to it. You're not going to create the story. You're not going to say, oh, I was on this hike yesterday and I felt, and you see the trees in your mind, but you stick to it and you start to create a story, a narrative. Oh, and I noticed that this person showed up and they were hiking too, and that's what takes you out of meditation. Okay, so if you see the tree, you remember that you were hiking, beautiful. Keep it moving. Let the memory continue to float by and the next thought come, and then leave, come, leave, come, leave. That's the intention, to allow you to stay in the present moment. And also just be aware of your thoughts, right? You're coming from a place of just awareness, like, wow, all this is going through my mind. You may be able to step back into like a third party view of your mind. That's kind of like the next level, and just be like, wow, look at all that going by in there. Okay. And if you have an image that comes up that evokes a relatively strong emotion or memory, and you kind of feel yourself attached to it from in your body, your mind, and your spirit, that's okay. Become conscious that you are now in this memory. Bring yourself out and bring your attention back to your breath. You can always come back to your breath, the sensation of your inhale and exhale, the sensation of the air moving in and out of your nostrils, okay? Sometimes you can come back to your heartbeat if you're somebody who can feel their heartbeat easily. But some sensation that is an integral part of your meditation, come back to that. I like to say breath. And a visualization for releasing that strong emotion or memory, you can imagine it whizzing through your mind, and then the edges of the image starting to dissolve. more and more into smoke and floating up and out of the window. That's what you can do. And that imagery is really effective. Okay, so that's the basic description of meditation. It can help us relieve stress. If you're somebody who deals with anxiety or depression, um, it can help activate the parasympathetic nervous system. It can help strengthen concentration and focus because we have to be able to focus to stay in the present moment. All right. So I'm going to go through a basic breath practice, and we can practice that. And then I'm going to teach you a second level of the breath practice. Now, breathing is an essential part of life, right? A lot of different practices around the world acknowledge breath in some way. In ancient Kemet, breath is the image of breath is depicted by this deity named Shu, S-H-U. So Shu represents air, the space between the sky, okay, and the space between earth, right? So the space between Nut, which is the goddess of the sky, and the space between Geb or Jeb, which is the representation of the earth deity. Shu is the one who holds it up. So if you ever see any hieroglyphs of this man holding up Nut in between, separating them, there's a whole story behind that. I won't go into that. Separating Nut from Geb because they were getting it on too much and creating too many other deities. That's Shu, that's air, okay? He represents life force, right? In other languages called in Asia and in South Asia, across Asia, it's called chi. Chi, that's what it's called. What are some other ones? Yeah, Shu, breath, life force. All these we're going to engage in this practice. They're the same thing with intention. So I invite you to place one hand on your belly. And right now, without changing anything, without judgment, just notice where you're at. Notice the rhythm of your breath right now. This is your baseline. Notice if your breath is shallow or long. Notice if it's located in your chest or more in your belly. Notice if bringing your attention to your breath automatically changes it. For those of you who have children, if they're younger than 4, then have them place their hand on your belly as you do this so they can feel you breathing. You can sit them in your lap or sit them in front of you. And you can place their hand on your belly and then maybe the other one on their belly so they can make that association. If they're older than 4, they can do this. They can do this practice. And now that you have an idea of your baseline, invite 25% more expansion on your next inhale, expanding your belly, pushing it out against your hand. And then on your exhale, contracting your belly, pushing all the old stale air out of the bottom of your lungs before you inhale once more. And exhale, pushing all the old air out. Exhaling out of your nose. Inhale. And exhale. Releasing tension in your shoulders, releasing tension in your forehead, releasing tension in your jaw and cheeks and tongue. And inhale. And exhale out of your nose. Take one more breath here. And at the top of your next inhale, you're going to hold your breath in for 2 to 3 seconds. Inhaling through the nose. And hold. And exhale out of the nose. Holding at the bottom of your breath for 2 to 3 seconds before you inhale again. And hold. And exhale out of your nose. And hold. This is rule of 4 breathing. Inhaling, first step. Holding is the second step. Exhale out of your nose, the third step. And hold at the bottom of your breath, the fourth step. And inhale, 1. Hold, 2. Exhale, hold, 3. Hold, 4. Inhale, 1. Hold, 2. Exhale, 3. And hold, 4. Take 5 breaths at your own pace, utilizing rule of 4 breathing. Relaxing and releasing tension in your shoulders, face, jaw, neck, forehead, eyebrows as you breathe. Notice how the slower you breathe, the slower you inhale, the more oxygen you get. All right, after your 5th breath, feel free to release your hand from your belly. Just take a moment to notice the impact the practice has had on you so far. Staying in the present moment, just being curious. Notice if anything has shifted in your body, any tension, level of awareness. Just taking a curious inventory, noticing if anything has shifted since we first became aware of the baseline at the beginning of the practice. If your eyes are closed, gently open them. I'm going to do another breath exercise that is meant to connect the right and left hemispheres of our brain. So people know the two hemispheres is the right being the creative side, right? The right, that the part that that we tap into to engage in art, you know, playing music, listening to music, you know, understanding the abstract. We're just engaging with the abstract on a subconscious level, not necessarily on a logical level.
Nice.
And then the left hemisphere is more of our linguistic
Yeah,
side.
where do you smell it from?
Some onions.
How do you smell your breath?
Taste it.
So I think, there we go, is our logic side, our thinking brain, our problem solving. That's, yes, all this happens in the frontal lobe as well. But if you think of the right as like the non-linear side and the left is the linear side, and it's important, the right as the emotion side and the left as the language communication side. And so it's important for these two sides to communicate. Because if they're not communicating, then we struggle talking about our emotions, right? So our society conditions us that being engaged with our emotions, having emotional intelligence is a gendered thing, right? So society sets us up for women being conditioned and engaged in talking about our feelings, whereas a lot of our men, particularly our cis hetero men, it doesn't encourage or support men learning how to engage with and talk about their feelings, so that that part in between our brain that connects neurologically the right and left hemispheres, the corpus callosum. In a lot of studies, you know, and take studies with a grain of salt because they're only studying a certain population of people, but the ones that I'm familiar with, the corpus callosum is thinner in our males and thicker in our females as a result of just women being engaged in talking about our feelings more, right? So it's not to say that that's set in stone. The more we engage as a community, regardless of gender, the thicker our corpus callosum can get, and our ability for our right and left hemispheres to communicate. So if you're engaging with a man and he struggles being vulnerable, he struggles talking about his feelings, you know, this hopefully can give you some context and some compassion to around why that is. And so I'm going to give you a practice to strengthen that right-left hemisphere connection through the back door, right? Instead of attacking it head on. So through the back door, through breath, through the body. All right, so you're going to take your pointer finger and your middle finger, place it on your third eye here. And you're going to take your thumb, and this thumb is going to plug this nostril, okay? So I'm plugging my right nostril first. I think the image might be flipped. You can't really tell. But I'm plugging my right nostril first. So go ahead and plug that. And you're going to inhale through your left nostril. Holding at the top, utilizing rule of 4 breathing. And exhale out of your left nostril. Holding at the bottom. Inhale through your left. And exhale through your left. Inhale. And exhale. Take 5 breaths here at your own pace, continuing to plug the right nostril. Utilizing rule of 4 breathing. Releasing your shoulders, neck, chest, forehead, eyebrows, and tongue and jaw. At the bottom of your 5th exhale, release your hand. And again, notice if anything has shifted, if you feel a difference between one side of your head or body and the other, since we just worked one side. Notice if nothing has shifted, that's also okay. And you're going to do the other side. You can use the same hand or you can use the opposite hand to get that cross connection happening. Either way, it'll be beneficial. But same thing, 2 fingers on your 3rd eye here at this spot between your forehead. And then you're going to plug your left nostril with either your thumb or, if you're using the other hand, with your ring and pinky finger. Okay? Your right nostril is the one that's open now. So inhaling through the right, holding at the top, and exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right, hold, and exhale, contracting the belly, and hold. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Hold. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Hold. Take 5 more breaths at your own pace here. Releasing and relaxing your shoulders, jaw, neck, forehead, and tongue. At the bottom of your fifth exhale, release your hand and again, notice. Notice if anything has shifted now that we've done both sides. Taking in a nice full breath through both nostrils and releasing. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to breathe in one nostril and out the other to cycle the breath and engage both hemispheres even more. Okay, so notice which hand felt most comfortable holding up there, and just choose that hand that works for you. There's no right or wrong. The important thing is to listen to your body. All right, so I'm going to choose my right hand. And this time, you're going to start by plugging your left nostril on the inhale, and then you're going to release your left and plug your right nostril on the exhale. So you're inhaling through your right nostril and you're exhaling through your left, okay? So let's try that. Hopefully you're noticing that because we're spending so much of our attention on our breath, there's not even a whole lot of space for thoughts to come through. If thoughts are still coming through for you, that's fine. Just be conscious of it and bring your attention back to your breath. But hopefully this engagement and the concentration and focus that's required for this practice is taking up most of that space. And that's part of the intention. So plug in your left nostril, inhale through your right, then hold to plug your right and exhale through your left, then hold, and that's the cycle, right? So starting with plugging your left, inhale through your right, excuse me, I think I did that opposite. So starting with plugging your right nostril, inhale through your left, hold at the top, release your right, plug your left, and exhale through your right. Plug your right, release your left, inhale, hold, plug your left, release your right, exhale. Plug your right, release your left, inhale. Hold, plug your left, release your right, exhale. Plug your right, release your left, inhale. Plug your left, release your right, exhale. Do this for 5 more breaths at your own pace. The bottom of your 5th exhale, release your hand, and again, tuning in to notice and honor the practice. Notice if anything has shifted or not. Notice if you feel any differences between the right side and left side of your face, head, body. And raise your arm up. We're going to do the opposite cycle. So this time we're going to start by plugging our left nostril and breathing in through our right. And then we're going to plug the right, release the left, and breathe out through the left. Okay, so now we're breathing in through the right, out through the left. So go ahead and plug your left nostril and breathe in through your right, holding at the top. Plug your right, release your left, and exhale through your left. Holding at the bottom, plug your left, release your right, inhale. Holding at the top, plug your right, release your left, exhale. Plug your left, release your right, inhale. Plug your right, release your left, exhale. Once more, plug your left, release your right, inhale. Hold, plug your right, release your left, exhale. And hold. Take 5 more breaths like this at your own pace. Bottom of your fifth exhale. Release your hand from your face and again, just notice. Recognize how things have been shifting since our first check-in where we became aware of our baseline to now. We're going to finish up with a guided meditation. So continuing to utilize Rule of 4 breathing. Close your eyes if they're not already closed, if you feel comfortable with that. Or taking a soft gaze at nothing in particular. Bring your attention to your breath. Engaging in Rule of 4 breathing, releasing your shoulders, releasing your neck, jaw, eyelids, forehead, eyebrows, and tongue. And notice all the ways in which you are supported in this moment. Physically, by the floor, the cushion, or the chair that you're sitting on. Emotionally, by the people around you who love you unconditionally. Spiritually, by your ancestors, by Creator, by your guides. Notice all the ways you feel supported and give gratitude. Notice how you're supported by our planet Earth. Visualize your connection to our Earth as a beam extending through and down your spine, down, down, down into Earth's core, a beam of bright light connecting you to the core of our planet, the molten iron core. Notice the color of the beam as it vibrates as you plug into the core of our planet And inhale our planet's nurturing, nourishing, powerful energy. Inhaling it up the beam, up your spine, energizing each energy center that lives along the spine. Inhaling it up to the crown of your head until it bursts out of the crown of your head and extends beyond the crown of your head. A beam now extending out of the crown of your head, up, 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 until it reaches this gorgeous, beautiful, just shining golden sun that is your highest and greatest self. Plugging into this golden sun, allowing the contents of your highest vibrating self drip down into the beam, down into the crown of your head, feeling the crown of your head vibrating, tingling as this high vibration, core, highest self drips down into your crown, down to the rest of your body, filling every single cell with this golden, high vibrating energy, spreading through your body, every cavity, every organ, filling every cell, spreading throughout every limb, dripping down your chest, your arms, your fingers, your stomach, your belly, your hips, your legs, your thighs, calves, down to your toes until you are glowing so bright, such a bright, high vibrating golden glow. And as it fills your body, it spreads, continues to spread, filling the space outside of your body, the part of you that is not contained by a physical body. The sphere around you begins to absorb this golden, high vibrating energy, filling itself. You find yourself surrounded by a bright golden sphere of love, of gratitude, of protection. Anything that was vibrating lower than this frequency is expelled from you. It can't stand this golden high vibration. And anything that will come to you throughout your day that's vibrating lower than this energy is blocked because you are vibrating so high. You are filled with this golden, bright, shining, higher self energy. As you breathe in, you breathe it into your nostrils, down your esophagus, your lungs, filling your lungs. Noticing each energy center growing brighter and brighter along your spine, starting with your root, that energy center cycling at the bottom of your spine, growing brighter and brighter with each inhale, filling with love, sending love to that energy center, releasing anything that doesn't serve you. Moving up to the next one, around your groin, around your sexual organs, your creative part of your body, sending love as this part of yourself grows brighter and brighter and brighter, and the color grows richer and richer. Inhaling, moving further up still to your core will that lives in your belly, this part of yourself that lets you know that you can accomplish anything you desire, anything you will come, growing brighter and brighter with each inhale. Moving up further still to your heart, this part of yourself that is nurturing, that is caring, that is compassionate, vibrating high, this energy center growing brighter and brighter, sending love, sending gratitude, Inhaling, moving up to your throat is part of yourself where you communicate your truth, your passion, your love, releasing every blockage that's held here with your inhale, with your exhale, inhaling love, inhaling confidence, inhaling gratitude into your throat, moving up to your third eye, releasing any self-doubt, releasing any guilt with your exhale, inhaling love, nurturing, cycling it up through the earth's core, through every energy center, on up to your third eye, moving up further still to your crown, cycling this energy all the way up through your entire spine, up to your crown, releasing any self-doubt, any confusion, breathing in love, breathing in precision, breathing in clarity. As every energy center vibrates and cycles and communicates together, connecting you from earth all the way up to your highest self, balanced, smiling, beaming. You are safe, you are protected, you are vibrating high. From this place of high vibration, start to bring your attention from inward to outward, noticing the sounds around you. If there are people present, noticing their presence, the heat of their body, the sound of their voice. Notice the direction that light is hitting your eyelids as the sun is rising. And gently, gently taking your time, honoring the transition from inward to outward, slowly open your eyes to look at nothing in particular. And then start to look around the room to orient back to the space that you're in. You might invite some movement into your body, allowing your body to move in any way that it feels called. Taking your time. Allowing yourself to stretch and expand and take up space. Hmm. And I want you to, now that we've created some clarity inward, if you have a journal and something to write with, take a quiet moment to connect with your intention for today, a daily intention for today. Notice the first thing that comes up, because often our subconscious knows what we need or our consciousness does. Okay, thank you all for practicing with me. I hope you feel super mellow and that you take this throughout the rest of your day. For those of you who've been riding with me since Tuesday, thank you for just being present for the first week of morning meditations with Muriel. I hope it has provided a lot of value to you. And I will be posting these recordings on my YouTube channel. Let me, in fact, stop the recording right now so you all can feel like you can engage without being spotlighted. Okay, here we go. Still says recording. Give me a second.